Hello and welcome to the Friday edition of Joy News Interactive with me, Mabita Sibidi. This is where your views are prioritized. So as usual, join the conversation on social media. We are Joy News on TV, Facebook and Twitter. Our WhatsApp number is 055-815-7074. And we're also live from DSTV channel 421 and Go TV channel 144. Our digital address is GA0992539 here in Kokomemle, Accra. Now, Parliament on Thursday withdrew the Right to Information Bill on the basis that it was not urgent in nature. The bill was last laid before Parliament on March 23rd this year, before the House went on recess. So now I want to ask, do you trust this Parliament to pass the RTI bill into law? Let's go to Facebook, where Brian Jeremiah says, I don't trust them. Looking at the way they are handling the whole bill, we the citizens need to put some form of little pressure on them to work on the bill. The RTI is the tool for us if we want citizen participation in governance process of our country. We need nationwide demonstration to get this bill passed. Papa Wanki says the thing is they don't trust themselves, so they don't want to do anything which will later implicate them. They have to take all the time in the world to do the right thing. But trust, yeah, forget it. And Amankwa Percy says absolutely. With super competent doers like Speaker Mike and President Nana Addo, it will be passed. The fact that NDC under incompetent Mahama couldn't pass it does not mean it will not be passed. We go to Michael Adu, who says NPP and NDC, same thing. They will never pass. A black man is never willing to answer questions when he or she is in position of doing something. Let's see if we can go to Kweku, who says, what are our leaders hiding at all, to the extent that they're playing delay tactics and passing this bill into law? Hashtag, what is they fear? Varana Katia says, they will and they have to. There is no alternative. Citizen Ati comes in to say that did their constituents tell them it's not important? And Nana Odro says, when useless people fill the honorable house. And that's his opinion. And Mighty Raymond says, nah, there's something fishy about this whole thing. Gets late, gets out. What is it? So those are some of your comments on the RTI bill. Do you trust the Parliament to pass this bill? And Fossey Christopher says, I don't trust any of the parliamentarians. And Owusu Daniel comes in to say that even if they are to receive double salaries for 8 years, they won't. Hope Candy says, knowing very well how the bill will be affecting them if passed into law, how will they pass it? Never, they won't. So those are some of your comments. And Halam also says, absolutely not. So he doesn't trust the Parliament to pass this bill. Well, Ben Abdullah chairs the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament. My colleague Joseph Opoku Gakpo spoke to him in Parliament yesterday.
This is not an ordinary bill. It's a bill that the public has followed for a long time. It's a bill that the public has a lot of interest in. It's a bill that has generated a certain amount of controversy, which we think ought to be taken through the normal legislative process, which therefore means that the committee will have to engage the public. As I'm talking to you right now, we've received a number of memoranda from the public. It's a little over 10, and the memoranda are still coming about what he or she thinks about the bill. Some are congratulating us, others have certain misgivings and reservations about certain portions of the bill which they think ought to be amended, with particular reference to the numerous exemptions in the bill and certain aspects of the bill. Because the bill is not with me here right now, it will be difficult for me to speak to specific provisions in the bill. But I think that all these concerns are legitimate concerns that the committee ought to take on board in ultimately meeting and considering the bill holistically, clause by clause, after we've done with the stakeholder engagement, which is 7th and 8th, and after which the committee will be proceeding to a convenient place to have a workshop to holistically look at the bill clause by clause, which is from the 9th to the 10th. I think it will be passed as soon as practicable, because as for me giving some timelines, it will be difficult. But I hope that this bill ought to be passed before the end of the next meeting. So when Parliament resumes on the 15th, by which time the committee would have finished all its work.
In order to be successful, we need to learn from people who came before us. As Sam Livingston said, you must learn from the mistakes of others. You can't possibly live long enough to make them all yourself. That is why it's important to listen to people who are successful in fields you would like to excel in. I spoke to a few successful ladies at the Glitz Award, and this is what they had to say.
I would say to any young women out there, the most important advice I would have for them is to believe who God say they are. What God says is what matters, because there are so many attacks on the self-esteem of women. So I think if they could just understand and appreciate who God says they are, that they are wonderfully made, that they are born for a purpose, and that they can achieve mighty things.
Women should support each other. That's just basically what we're supposed to do. Stop the pull him down attitude. If you think that MAPS is not doing something right, call her, tell her that MAPS, this is how you're supposed to do it. Don't go talk behind her back. Support women, basically support each other like the way I'm supporting you. Yeah, we'll be fine if we support each other.
Always be you. You have the power within you. Don't let anyone ever make you think that you deserve second place, because, sweethearts, God created you, with purpose, and you're not going to waste away on this earth thinking that someone else is better than you. So keep going. Always be you, and you'll get there.
Find yourself a tribe, right? If you're surrounded by people who beat you down, if you're in doubt, if you're going through anything that has you feeling like a victim, right? Just find someone who has survived and know that there's a big world out there, and there are a lot of people out there who are willing to help you be whatever it is you need to be. And don't feel any shame in feeding off of the strength, the courage, and the resilience of other women who you look up to.
Not all that glitters is gold, because talking from experience, sometimes you see some nice, beautiful things. So you go like, oh yeah, I want to have that. But you find out that when you go into it, it's not like the way you saw it. There are a lot more challenges, there are a lot more setbacks in that. So I think the young ones have to really look at what they want to do and not just jump into it. Take it one at a time, and you'll be good at it.
Go out there and win. Don't be intimidated. You're good enough. You don't need to be with, you don't need, so to say, to sleep with a man or, something to be able to achieve it. We are good enough as we're doing it, and we have examples. I think the whole vision of this is to show the examples that we have in this country. It's a beautiful time, especially in Ghana, to be a woman. Most of the big roles in this country is women that are in charge.
It's important for all of us to have solid opinions and beliefs. Everybody needs to have that, because if you...
So those were some of the ladies I spoke to at the Glitz Awards, advising ladies and gentlemen how to be successful in your respective field. So I asked you, if you could give your younger self advice, what would you say? Let's go to Facebook, where Philip says, God first, love your brother, and perseverance is the formula for success. Dixon Aqua comes to say that never try alcohol or any narcotic drug. And Kodra comes to say that wait until you grow enough before you fall in love with a woman. Papa Wonkin comes to say that never trust anyone born by a woman and never give up no matter the storm. Kamal Dean says, I'll ask him to be persistent in life. I persisted in my quest for a better future and I made it. He should follow suit. Okay, and Hope Canning comes in to say that fully bury your mind in book and no girl thing. And Valanya Katia says, fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. TJ comes in to say that do unto others what you want others to do unto you. And Arnold Cobb says, never to trust anyone and invest at the right places. Juliana Boachi says they should never trust any man. And Saba GH says, fear ladies, and live long. Sirius GH comes in to say that nothing, and Brian Jeremiah says, respect and honor people in authority, be honest and transparent in all the dealings. So those are some of your comments on Facebook. Now let's go to Rwanda, where the President Paul Kagame has officially closed down 6,000 churches, saying they were playing with the faith of Rwandan citizens. And President Kagame also put up a new requirement of procuring a theology degree before being licensed to open up a church in Rwanda. So I was asking you, do you think this should happen in Ghana? Should pastors hold a theology degree? Let's go to Facebook, where you guys brought your comments. Let's see if I can get those comments if you think that our pastors should get degrees in their field. Okay, so once again, okay, so we're going up to our post on Facebook. We're drawing you on TV and Facebook. That's where you can find us. You can also send us WhatsApp messages. Okay, so here it is. It says, Emmanuel Appiah says, degree to preach? Absolutely nonsense. Calling has nothing to do with education. Education is good. But if it has nothing to do with ministry, wisdom is divine. And Zidane comes in to say that all the pastors on... Okay. So these are some of your comments. Papa Prime says, ha 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 ha. The world is changing. A time will come before you marry. You have to possess a master's degree. Hey! Where are we going as world? Worshipping God's demands for educational qualification. UN must act. This is abuse of human rights. Abraham Smith says this law should be implemented in Ghana here. Some pastors are disturbing our peace. We need to examine them. While Eunice Adom comes in to say that, yes, this should also happen here in Ghana. There are too many novelists in this country. Atom comes in to say that as long as pastors preach the biblical, allow them for God to judge. Just mind your own eloquent flops. God knows, okay? All right. And Kofi comes to say that in principle, he's absolutely right. But these who are naively brainwashed from the start, this noble man of Africa. And so this is some of the comments. Kabana says, yes, we must actually do away completely with the church. It's useless if you can think and reason. Kweku Gideon says that's stupidity at the highest level. The only qualification is just being born again. And the last comment I'm going to take is from Jamal Abdul, who says, you're right, but some brainwashed people will say he's not normal. So those are some of your comments on Facebook. We're going to take a quick breather. When we come back, we're talking Y2K. Do stay tuned. Welcome back from that breather. Before I talk about Y2K, let me take some of your WhatsApp messages. This one says, from Moses, who says, they will know when it is passed, it will go against them as politicians, but they're there to serve our interests. And he's talking about the RTI bill there. And this one also says, Parliament is corrupt. They know what they're doing. JM all the way. So those are your WhatsApp messages. Do keep them coming through. Now, let's go to Y2K. Tonight, all roads lead to the Silver Star Towers for the maiden edition of the Joy FM Y2K party. Built to be the biggest party this first quarter, the Y2K party is the perfect event for the hardworking Ghanaian to reward themselves for all the hard work so far. Now, your superstation, Joy FM, acknowledges this hard work and wants you to celebrate it in the right atmosphere. What will happen at the event is that songs and dances from 2000 to 2010 will be on display. So, what's your favorite song from that era?
Angelina, she go be. Angelina, come to. Angelina, come to. She go be. God is able to do just what He says He will do. He's gonna fulfill every promise to you.
If you tell about the capital town of Tenet, Young code that in do you could in one to
Obiara siopo perversion sana wa yenwede nenso mema kruyo mu mama ninyi Obiara siopo perversion. Thank you.
It's been a long time coming finally me do. Timame tete na mo keka mo from the book Katneza ohum yake mo hallelujah. Obe the book me from head of me do. Sir, people know me to be one of the best commodities. Say me just me show but I live the opposite so my father can do. This is my apology. Who person want to say me actually make you follow me because I believe in one God. And on the pen I'm going to me here passport. Now raise your hands up. I'm something to say cooking. You can't stop. People they talk but they don't go for maintain. I'm putting the family who says can pay akasaka people. I'm still ahead of the game. Then I'm on to massacre the massacre your brain.
You know one thing's true. I don't really deserve to know you, but I'm a witness that you did this and I'm brand new. So I'm ready to go. I'ma tell the world what they need to know. A slave to myself, but you let me go. I'm trying getting high, but you left me low. You did what they could never do. You cleaned up my soul and gave me life. I'm so brand new, and that's all that matters. I ain't love you first, but you first loved me. In my heart I cursed you, but you set me free. I gave you no reason to give me new season, to give me new life, new breathing. But you hung there bleeding out of my life, my cheating, my lust, my greed. What is a man that you mindful of him? And what do I have to deserve this love?
Because I say watch it run about. And I'm content now to turn up na minya willy cry. Minya kameto kuku so online ewa. And power there never chose here you have ba. The way they uni baby ko house better. You know chop we go better come better papa. Now when I was sorry now on your
Y2K party, you don't want to miss it. I'll be there, Lexus Bill will be there, DJ Pounds will be there. There's just going to be a lot of people. DJ Black will be there, so you don't want to miss it. So now from the Friday edition of the Joy News Interactive with me, Mapisa CVD, I'm leaving you with the video of the day. Enjoy your weekend. Is it?
Go Ike, go Ike, go Ike, don't stop, don't stop, go straight around Ike, don't stop Icon, one Icon, it is far from that, one, go down there, come here, Jesus Christ, oh my God. Here's Icon in the white shirt. One by one. Go Ike, go Ike, go Ike,